Sometimes the people who fix broken things are the ones who feel most broken inside. This is the story of Daniel, a poor young man who helps others, hides his pain, and learns that even a small light can change everything. Daniel lived in a small town called Green Hill. He was only 24 but looked older because of the hard life he lived. His parents had passed away when he was a teenager, and he had no one left, only a small room, a few tools, and an old, broken lamp. He worked as a repairman. People brought him broken radios, clocks, or lamps. He charged very little, sometimes only a few coins, sometimes nothing. Even though Daniel was poor, he had gentle eyes and a kind heart. He never refused to help anyone. But when the day was over and the streets became quiet, Daniel sat alone in his room with the broken lamp beside him. It had stopped working years ago, but he could not throw it away. It was his mother's lamp, the only thing that reminded him of home. Every night, he promised himself, "I'll fix it someday." But he never did. The kind stranger. One morning, as Daniel was fixing a radio outside his small shop, an old woman came walking slowly with a broken teapot. "My son said it's useless," she said sadly. "But it belonged to my husband. I just want to keep it." Daniel smiled softly. "Let me try." He worked for an hour, polishing, fixing, and testing. The woman waited patiently, watching his hands move carefully like a doctor. Finally, steam rose from the teapot again. Daniel smiled. "It works." The woman's eyes filled with tears. "Oh, thank you, young man. How much do I owe you?" Daniel shook his head. "It's free. Some things are too special for money." She smiled and placed a small loaf of bread on his table. "Then take this. You look like you could use it." Daniel laughed gently. "Thank you." When she left, Daniel took a small bite of the bread, warm and soft. It reminded him of his mother's kitchen. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Maybe kindness really does come back." The lonely evening. That night, rain fell hard outside. Daniel sat beside his broken lamp, trying to fix it once again. He cleaned the glass, replaced the wire, and twisted the metal base, but still no light. He sighed. "Maybe I just don't have the right tools," he whispered. His hands were tired, his clothes were old, and his rent was late. But Daniel kept working because helping others made him feel alive. Then a knock came on his door. A young girl stood outside, wet from the rain. "Mister, my brother's toy car broke. He's crying. Can you fix it?" Daniel looked at her and smiled gently. "Of course. Come in before you catch a cold." He fixed the toy quickly, dried her with a towel, and gave her half of his bread. The girl grinned. "You're very kind." Daniel replied softly, "When you can help someone, you're never really poor." After she left, Daniel sat in silence. The room was dark, but somehow it didn't feel so empty. A visit from hope. The next morning, Daniel was repairing a lamp for a customer when a man in a clean grey suit stopped by. He looked around and said, "Are you Daniel?" "Yes, sir." "I heard you're good at fixing things. My office lamp broke. It's old and special. Can you repair it?" Daniel nodded. "I can try." The man left the lamp and walked away. It was large, made of brass, and looked expensive. Daniel worked all day, cleaning, polishing, and reconnecting every small wire. When evening came, the lamp suddenly lit up. The golden light filled the whole room. Daniel smiled for the first time in days. "You're alive again," he whispered. He placed the glowing lamp beside his mother's broken one. The new light shined softly on the old lamp, like giving it company. The opportunity. 2 days later, the man in the suit returned. When he saw his lamp shining, he smiled. "You did it. It looks new." Daniel nodded. It just needed a little care. The man looked around the small, messy shop and said, "You have talent. I own an electronics repair store in the city. Would you like to work there? The pay is good, and we could use someone like you." Daniel's eyes widened. "Are you serious?" "Yes. I can see you don't just fix things, you fix them with heart." Daniel stood quietly, his throat tight with emotion. "Thank you, sir. I'll do my best." The man smiled. "I believe you will." A new beginning. That night, Daniel packed his few tools and clothes. Before leaving, he looked at his small room one last time. His eyes stopped on his mother's broken lamp. He picked it up gently and whispered, "Maybe it's time for your light to shine again." He worked on it one last time, carefully connecting the wire, cleaning the base and fixing the switch. Then suddenly, click! The lamp glowed softly for the first time in years. Daniel laughed in surprise, tears in his eyes. "You just needed a bit of hope, didn't you?" He placed it by the window. The soft yellow light filled the room, warm and gentle. He whispered, "Thank you, Mum. I'll make you proud." In the city. Weeks later, Daniel started working in the city. The store was big, bright, and full of machines he had never seen before. At first, he was nervous, but soon people noticed his careful hands and patient smile. Customers liked him. His boss trusted him. He rented a small apartment and sent money back to Green Hill to help the neighbors who once supported him. One evening, he sat by his window watching the city lights and smiled softly. "All these lights, and I used to think mine was gone." He pulled out a small photo of his mother and said, "Your lamp still burns, Mom, inside me." Full circle. A year later, Daniel returned to Green Hill for a visit. His old shop was gone, but the people still remembered him. Children ran to him shouting, "Mr. Daniel, you fixed my toy." An old woman waved, "You repaired my teapot." Daniel smiled at them all. "You all fixed me too." He walked to his old house. Through the window, he saw the same broken lamp, still glowing. Someone had kept it shining while he was gone. A note sat beside it. "Dear Daniel, your light helped us when we were sad. We fixed your lamp so it will never go out again. Thank you for showing us what real kindness looks like." Daniel sat quietly, smiling through tears. He whispered, "Sometimes when you give light to others, the light finds its way back to you. Even when life feels dark, keep helping, keep shining. Because somewhere someone will see your light and it will change everything."